Yes, you are. Hey, everybody, welcome to Gov's Comedy Club Radio.
What happened? The show started?
A very special Tuesday night. If you're expecting to see Anthony Rodilla, sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not this week. This week, it's the album release of our good friend Chris Roach.
Yay!
The hit comedy album, Roach Motel. Christopher, welcome to your own show.
Thank you for inserting the word hit there.
I just heard somebody bought the intro track.
Yes. Mario bought
There is $1.19 track
really
you can
funny.
buy. That is
I'm waiting for that money to come in.
simply another comic saying, ladies and gentlemen, here's Chris Roach.
Yeah, and they put that as a track.
And I told you when I listened to it, I loved that there was like, if there was an 8-track, you would have heard the gunk.
I got to call them because I don't know, once you name your tracks, is that like set in
That's
stone?
it. That's it.
Because I looked at, I didn't really put too much thought into the name of my tracks. And when I saw it broken down on iTunes, I'm like, you got to come up with like a juicy name for each track.
Yeah, you do.
You do have one track called I Have Gas. Was that supposed to?
No, one of my tracks is called Wife. And when I saw that, I'm like, who's going to download Wife?
One is called Juice or Juicy.
Juicing, all right,
Oh,
juicing, or maybe.
I thought he named one Juice.
Trick-or-treating was pretty good.
There's
Trick-or-treating.
that 13-minute track called Jews.
Dad Stents.
That's. So, Christopher,
Steven.
let's go into a little Chris Roach backstory.
Bum, bum. First of all, can we announce everybody at the table?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wouldn't that help?
I was waiting for
And I
Richie to
wanna-
finish
and
his sandwich.
Again, I just want to thank you guys for.
I spent a lot of money on that sandwich.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Tony and Sally for having this. That's very sweet of you.
welcome to
Very
Gov's Comedy Club Radio. We have
I'm not even in the shot, so it doesn't matter.
No, you're in. You are.
You're in. We watch you jam that sandwich right in your craw. It was disgusting. Tony Walker is here. One of the hosts
Tony Walker.
of Knock 'em Dead Comedy every day here on Gov's Comedy Club Radio from 11 to 1, along
Not
with
related
Sally
to Rich,
O'Neill.
so he's funny.
Yes, he's the funny walker.
Yay.
Sally O'Neill is here from Knock 'em Dead Comedy
Sally!
every day at 11 to 1. And for some reason, Richie Byrne is still here.
Burn.
Well, here's the deal.
He
I
got-
still want to talk football.
He still, he was my guest on Comedians on Football, and he doesn't realize that we've changed shows.
We did.
Oh, and who,
Mattingly was a way overrated player. Who cares? He never won a ring. Screw him.
did he play cricket? Hang on.
Playing
One
right
more
now.
introduction, new to Gov's Comedy Club Radio. In the booth, it's the lovely MJ.
MJ, we don't know what it stands for.
And if anybody knows MJ and knows what the
It's a
MJ
secret.
stands for, could you please text us?
MJ in the booth.
She's being very secretive. You know?
I know.
You know?
I'm going to put my money on Mary Jean because she's got a very Catholic look to her.
That is incorrect.
Irish.
I'm gonna
Really?
put my money on Martin John.
Wasn't he on
Close,
Adam
but
12?
no cigar.
That was Martin Milner.
Martin
Lavernius?
Milner, sorry, so close.
Is
it's
it
not
Lavernius?
Michael Jackson.
It's not Lavernius?
Lavernius Byrne will be joining us later. But yes, the proper introduction. National headliner, very funny comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richie Byrne is here.
Where else would I be? It's the premiere of the Roach Motel. Actually, I thought I was getting some bug spray.
Oh.
Groner.
I actually had to look into to make sure the Roach Motel was not copyrighted. What is it? There's a term when something, like, say, Band-Aids, for instance. Johnson & Johnson came out with Band-Aids, but then after a certain while, when something becomes a household name,
Like when you call a tissue a
There you go.
Kleenex.
Yeah.
Look at
like
this.
Q-tips.
when something becomes a household name, you lose the patent.
Do you
I,
really?
I have that album, and you know what's surprising? Mario also did the introduction
Yeah,
for that album.
and got a credit for it.
So now,
Ladies and gentlemen, my grandma with a Roach Motel.
now any kind of insect bait trap, people call them Roach Motels.
Anything that a bug would go into.
Yes.
Oh, look at that handsome mug.
I remember I had a stupid joke when I first started. I said I used to go into hotels. And I used to walk into motels and say, "Hi, we're the Roaches checking in." It was so bad.
You used that this weekend, dude. What do you mean you used to do?
Shut your mouth.
It was Pennsylvania. It doesn't
I'm
count.
gonna share it on your phone.
No, wait.
No,
Richie
because I'm going to
Byrne,
be leaving.
Richie
Okay.
Byrne just released a album as well. Richie, right?
I did. Well,
Was it also called Roach Motel?
Oh, too bad it's my show, but hey, no, okay. It was it's Burned Out.
burned out?
Great.
Share.
Now it took me a while to figure that out. Burn, B-Y-R-N-E, is Richie.
Right.
Burned Out, as in burned out.
D-O-U-B-T. And people are going, I don't get it.
I don't.
So-
Nothing is
it took me
better
a
for
while. I got it.
I think
podcasting.
of changing it to Burn Motel.
Nothing's better on podcasting than wordplay. I
Yes.
love watching your mind work.
Oh,
What happens when you have a last name that doesn't work out like a pun?
What do you do?
Then you
That's
do
me.
something else.
What am I going to pun with
Are you
Belanger?
saying we both were punny with our albums? I guess you're right.
Very punny.
But my CD is called "It's About Time."
Oh, okay.
That was the name of my one-man show.
Get out, really?
It's right. Yes,
Copyrighted my my award-winning one-man
Well,
show.
maybe
was
my
called It's
CD
About
will
Time.
no longer be called "It's About Time." I don't know.
It's about time.
Wait, when did you do your CD?
Oh, not that long ago. So I'm sure I owe you something.
2017 award-winning one-man show.
Award-winning. one-man show.
Award-winning
Okay.
one-man show. So that predates it. You owe me 10% vig on every album sold.
I've won nothing. I've made no money yet. So
So far, you've gotten a sandwich out
you
of
owe
the
me
deal.
money.
Roach Motel,
Biscuit.
available on iTunes and Pandora.
Now, where was that recorded, Christopher?
Right here at Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. And poor Jimmy, one of the owners here, actually cracked a rib.
Oh, that was a tough show.
No way.
Now, I've tried recording cocaine. I've tried recording albums before. I think
In your basement?
This is my, and Richie, I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think a lot of comedians wait so long to record a comedy album because 6 months from now we feel like we're a better comic than we were 6 months ago. I don't know, maybe that's it.
For me, it was more about I really just didn't feel like who's going to buy this?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, who's
You
going
got
to buy this?
you got the self-esteem of a comedian. That is
Yeah. And I don't
wants to hear my
and I didn't want to stand
nonsense?
in the back of the room going, hey, buy my hair.
Oh
I
no,
still
I
can't
can't.
do
You don't
that.
do the
Yeah,
merch?
so-
You don't sell the merch?
I'm bad at it.
some-
And I'm not
I am
saying,
too.
I'm not knocking anyone who does. There are
I
guys
am.
who are great at it. I just suck
It's a
at
good
it.
talent. But
Yes,
No,
and
there's-
I don't
you're
have
right.
it.
There are some guys, not dropping names, that
Amazing.
are outstanding at it.
Amazing at it.
You know, I've worked with Bobby Collins, who's just
Well,
he's
that
like-
son of a bitch.
That son of a bitch is a salesman.
Oh, we can curse now.
He's so good
Oh, really?
with people, and we can curse. Bobby's great. Paul Bond, you ever see Paul?
Yeah.
He's awesome. But I always feel like, I guess, I stand in the back. I feel like I'm apologizing.
Me too.
Like
And that's the problem.
I'm like, I'm
is-
sorry.
Hey, thanks
You're
for
right.
coming.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You look like a priest when you do that.
You got to bring somebody else.
I
in to do
actually,
it.
Yeah.
I actually give,
That's the
Yeah,
key.
you have to
That's
have
the
someone
key.
and you
else
give them
do it.
half.
have
And you
something.
and you
Yeah.
just stand there
I actually give them $10
to listen to your
Yeah.
album.
to take it.
Even when I was selling my little potato chip clips, the Roach clips, when I was selling them when I was on Kevin's show on CBS, Kevin Coe, I felt like I'm
Who
selling.
had 3 minutes in the over/under
I'm-
before that was brought up?
And he mentions it on the album. It's
Oh.
on the album.
Well, he
I
should.
don't care for
Thank
it.
you, Sally.
I didn't
Thank
listen
you,
to it.
Sally.
I
She's
don't care for
right.
humor.
In all
You
fairness,
should
she's right.
absolutely.
What was I saying? God, I lost my train of
I-
thought.
Clips,
You
merch.
should have
I'm
someone
sorry.
else sell
Oh.
your stuff and
Well,
then like
right.
buy them a burger or something.
I was
know.
I was selling the Roach clips 2 for $5, and I'm like, I just felt cheesy. Like I'm selling stuff and I'm on a TV show. It didn't feel right.
Right.
Now it
well,
feels,
now you can sell.
now it
Game's
feels
gone.
necessary. I gotta eat, motherfucker. I got to eat.
But you did really drop that quick, that Kevin James thing.
Kevin
It's funny. I
James.
was talking to Dr. Oz about it.
Dr.
I got a name drop real quick. I was talking to Eric Shevlin.
I thought you were serious. I'm like, really?
Hey, and I don't know if I'm putting you on the spot or not, but you're in that documentary, right?
Yes. We were just talking about
yeah.
that.
Which I hear is just about almost.
It's about
ready to come
warm-ups.
out.
It's coming out soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Oh,
Cola.
Cola's calling us to ask about it.
Yeah.
Richie, come over this way just to look a little bit.
Richie Byrne, come on.
Yeah.
Swear to God,
That's
I'm leaving
good.
soon.
Up close
I
and
know.
Unless we
personal.
keep
Up
talking
You
about
don't
the
have to look,
documentary.
Just, we want your face.
It's a documentary about warm-ups. I do
Right.
the warm-up for the Dr. Oz show, and Joey Cola is in it. And they interviewed everybody. I mean, Kimmel and Ryan Reese is involved with it, and he's the warm-up for Seth Meyers. I think Seth Meyers is one of the producers.
No, nice.
So they went up to Saturday Night Live. They went out to L.A. Yeah, it was just.
When's it come
great.
out? Do you know?
I don't know. They're just about finishing it up now. So
It sounds
hopefully
really
soon.
interesting because
Just
like
to recap
most people
on
don't even know
the
like,
Roach-
what
The
it's
Roach
about.
Motel Launch
You're right.
Special. Richie Byrne has a new album out called About Time.
And I got a movie.
He's got a movie coming out, a documentary. He opens up for Dr.
But
Oz.
enough about Chris Roach.
I just bought his freaking dinner. I don't know. Rich Byrne just stepped his shit today. Everything's fantastic for him. Son of a bitch.
Call now for a free Roach clip.
Shipping and handling only $8.95.
And if you buy one in the next 5 minutes, you get a second one free.
So more about Roach. Sally, what do you think of Chris?
Well, the Roach Motel. You had a couple of other names that you were gonna like name.
Oh
it.
yeah.
There was a couple names. I
That
think
you
one
were
was like
floating around.
raised in Ronkonkoma.
I still like that one.
Cranially endowed.
Tell the cranially
my
endowed
favorite. I like
story
that one.
because I love that. You just didn't make that up.
No,
it's totally
because
true.
I have a large head, and I was like, I was trying to get a baseball hat for auditions. So regular baseball caps on me don't look good. They don't fit. I look like, when the spinning thing, it looks small
It's so
on my
hard.
head.
Like
Like
Spanky.
the beanie with the propeller.
Yeah, so
like
I
Spanky's
found a website called bigcaps.com, and I bought a hat.
I'm
through
assuming
there.
that's porn.
Big what?
Caps. Big CAPS.
Don't spell that wrong.
How far down the list was that, and how long did you spend on the other pages?
BigCaps.com.
I'm sure you won't get that audition. Why did he walk in with that, and why is it on his forehead?
I said caps. Now I look like a unicorn. Big caps.
Oh,
CAPS.
caps. My bad. Caps.
You gotta really enunciate, bro.
You got some cap. I'm sorry, I'm a mumbler. My mother always yelled at me for that. Big caps as in hat, and the hat comes. It's a
Cap. You said cat again, you feline bastard.
Big cap comes, and I look at the hat. I'm like, wow, it fits. But then I look at the inside, and in the stitching, it reads cranially endowed.
That's awesome.
And I loved it.
I
loved
love
it.
that story.
Was another one I thought about meat scarf, but meat scarf was like a word that I said in my act that a lot of people kind of like when I people would be leaving any show I did, they would go, "Hey, meat scarf." So I actually thought about like making meat scarves, like finding a fabric with meat on it and having somebody make scarves, like selling meat scarves.
How about that? Like they have that burrito blanket that just looks like a burrito that you wrap yourself in. You could
Yeah.
have meat veins, like not a Lady Gaga thing that's
Yeah,
made
you
of
could, like,
meat.
I just
Gaga.
hate.
Scarf.
Could we? That's gross.
Sorry. So we were at Roach Motel because my last name's Roach and it's a play on words and it's stupid.
More wordplay. But
You
look at how-
actually, everything you just said was better than Roach Motel.
Thank you. Thank you.
Aren't you glad you let Richie stay?
Why do we only have to have one name for the album?
Well, you want to call it a bunch of stuff?
We should try it should be released with 3 names, see which one gets bites, and then
Yeah, he's
kill
right.
the other 2.
That's actually really a smart idea.
It is
Yeah.
a smart idea.
And you should put a hot girl on the cover and call it something else.
See which gets bites, and it's so much,
And then on the album, have a hot girl do comedy for 60 minutes.
Listen.
and sell it.
the covers. I mean, people might look at that and say Roach Motel.
You could
what
do
is it?
Roach Motel.
Should I have the word stand-up comedy on there somewhere for people? I always think,
See, but Roach Motel would be good.
right,
Past the Roach might be good.
past the Roach.
And-
I thought about the
But
marijuana
then he doesn't
And the
do
third
any
one could
real
be-
weed reference.
Mario's intro.
Mario's boy.
Mario's intro.
I think I told you
I
this
think
when
that
you
would get
showed
the
me
most
the
hit.
image when you were still workshopping it. I don't care for the pull tab switch,
Which one? That the cord?
the white thing.
I didn't know
It
what
looks
it
like you're a
was.
professor.
It looks like you're gonna beat somebody in the ass. With it.
It doesn't look like I'm turning the light on. Like
Well, the thing's
Yeah, I
not
totally
going to the
thought
light.
you were turning off the light.
I'm
Yeah,
the
I totally
owner of
got
the
it.
motel, like Norman Bates.
Oh, that's heartwarming.
And you should really have a big cap on.
Bitch, I never thought about wearing my
Cranially
hat.
endowed
That's what's
cap.
missing.
Is it possible to go to
we fix
bigcaps.com
this?
right now?
Bigcaps.com.
We
Yeah.
If I brought my laptop,
Tony said
5
we
minutes, I
could.
would.
I have one
But we
hat.
shouldn't.
I have one hat. I was just on BAB with Roger and JP, and I realized. I said, guys, just so you know, I had this hat when I was on here 4 years ago, but it's a different hat. I bought a new one of the same hat. It was a Jack Daniels hat.
But they actually remembered the old what was it, an Eldorado or the Continental?
What is the car? The Lincoln Town car.
The Lincoln Town car that they made fun
No,
of you.
I drove around in a Lincoln Town car for years.
Yeah, I remember.
Were you ever in the town car, Richie?
Yeah, I think so.
Lincoln Town car.
I thought we were getting that when you and I worked together, and you got your niece's little gremlin or something.
Right. And then all of a sudden,
The
Gremlins.
two of you in a gremlin?
Yeah,
the best was
it was.
Richie and I driving to a gig, and we get up to
He had the
Right.
holes cut out in the bottom like
Yeah,
Fred
yeah,
Flintstone.
we'll have
Yeah.
to.
we get up to the. I said I'll drive. He's like, all right, and we get up to the first toll booth, and we're waiting in line. He's like, you don't have an easy pass.
Are you out of your mind? He got online. I go, what are you doing online? I don't have an easy pass. Why don't you
Yeah.
have easy pass?
Then you said something like, thank God I have a job.
I did. I
Steady
did.
job.
I did. I said that.
Well, when
And
we
then-
were in the car this weekend, and he's like, "Oh, text
I know,
Richie that
you did.
I still don't have an easy pass,"
I know.
and he's giggling
you
in
really
the
still
driver's
not
side.
have an easy pass?
It's my wife's easy pass now.
But he doesn't keep
You-
it. He's one of those guys who doesn't keep it on the window.
It's sliding all over the
wow.
dashboard.
He
Oh,
panics
no.
when we get close, and he's got to. Why? What's
This
with that?
is the
Me
same
too.
exact
Me
story.
too.
It was
Really?
like
I'm the same way.
six or 7
My
years
dad's the same
ago.
way.
I was like, "You don't have an easy pass?" He's like, "No. What do I need it for?" I'm like, "Well, now
For
Like, what do you even mean? And then he doesn't keep it on the. He keeps it in the glove compartment in this little baggie.
What is the
all
mentality behind that?
tied up, and then he takes it all out, and then he does this.
Is it in one of those coin
My
purses,
dad
like
does
plastic
the
coin
same
purses that you have to
thing.
squeeze?
It was like a-
Is
it
there
was
a
like a
doily
little-
around
That's
it?
what it came in.
The
when
little-
I got
like
it in
a
the mail,
little
that's what
bag.
it came in. So I left
Yeah.
it.
But they give you the sticker. You put it up in a windshield. Never
The
think about it.
mentality,
It's
the
dry.
mentality
No.
is that
When you get a
can take
gift,
it and
don't
put
you
in
take it
other
out of the
cars.
box?
Yeah.
So you can, if you have a rental car, you can take an easy
take
pass
it out of the
and put
box?
it in
Yes,
a rental
it's
car.
out.
But like still, every
I
time
have
you're
all these
going
boxes
through,
at
you're like,
home.
Yeah, you always see that guy. And
Yeah,
well,
that
that's-
guy's
Yeah.
my dad.
Chris Roach has a new album out, everybody. It's
Roach
called I Have
Motel.
an Easy Pass.
Roach Motel available on iTunes and Pandora.
Hang on, you know what? And we cut you off. We were recording it here. You were so kind. He let me open up for him.
Yeah.
And Carrie Carabas was here. And that first show here.
You're talking about that night when you recorded it?
Yes.
Was it- Okay.
Yeah.
We did 2 shows here, and the first night, I was sitting in the green room next to the guy recording everything, and he's got this look on his face. He goes, I think this mic is right to the right of the stage. There's a conversation that won't end. And Mario went up, and then I went up, and whatever the first thing I said was something, I'm married, or my wife is blah, blah, blah. They go, oh, do you like being married?
Oh, no.
Like right into the
no,
packed
no.
house. Packed house. And
Yes.
she's having a conversation
Yes.
with
See,
me.
I would have been like, you got to go.
Yeah, I was.
You got to go.
Jimmy
Well-
tried. Jimmy tried running over them to quiet them down because
Yeah.
he's and he's tripped and he hit his ribs on like one of the.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah,
The
and he
railing,
broke
yeah.
his wrist, not his wrist, but his watch, his expensive
watch and
he
his
hit-
cracked a rib.
Yep.
Oh, that was like James Goff was here too, right?
No, that was a couple of weeks later.
And
that
of
was
course,
a
same thing
different night.
happened. I
and
think,
of course,
with
when
James,
after
yeah.
he shushed them, what do you think happened?
They talked louder.
No, Richie, you shush a woman at the comedy club. They've been drinking a few. They're all
She went back at him.
she got
Hard.
She got offended.
Can you believe that he just shushed me?
Yeah.
Did he
Comics were
just
talking
shush
to me.
Did
They
he
were talking
shush
to me.
He Is anyone going to do anything that he one of those? Those are the worst.
It's
Those are the
usually
worst.
when, again, I don't want to sound sexist, but it's usually you get a couple
Very
ladies, a couple ladies haven't seen each other in a while.
Right.
They say, "Let's go." It's like a last minute thing. Let's go to a comedy club, but then they try to catch up in the comedy club during the show. Where the best thing would do is to go maybe to Fridays or somewhere,
Right,
have a
catch
couple of
up.
cocktails,
Any of your
catch up.
establishments like
Or
that.
before or after.
Before,
Yeah,
after.
before,
You
after.
have plenty
Like
of time
come an
before.
hour early, have dinner, and catch up, and then watch the show.
'Cause I see it all the time. I was at the Comedy Cove in New Jersey.
Oh, it was a couple weeks ago, yeah.
And same thing. There was three ladies talking. They shushed them to the point where the woman got offended. She made a big sting. She didn't want to pay her bill. Her husband's this person, and she's gonna blah blah blah. It's like same story, different club.
The place was empty. Everybody had left. They were still in there, still giving them the business about the review. And I'm standing out front,
Yeah.
and there's one woman hanging out,
Yelp.
and I'm like, I look at her and I know who she is. She's the sober driver,
Yep.
Yeah.
and she's looking at you like,
She's like, I'm so sorry.
sorry, I'll try and get them to move along. But that was the first show.
And that's the one you used.
Well, the guy from 800 Pound Gorilla was he shut down that mic.
Yeah.
Because the first crowd was hot.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I heard it was Mario's intro.
They were hot, and I was trying, but I heard them trying to like be part of the show in my right ear, but I kept plowing, and they kept trying.
And Carrie actually shut him down and said, "Look, Chris
Can't
is coming
do
out.
this.
He's recording.
Yeah,
Let's be
right
respectable."
before I went up, she goes, "If you want to talk to me, because the next guy is recording an album."
Wow.
And I don't know who these ladies are, but shame on you.
Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
Shame.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Shame.
Feel free to come back.
Well, feel free to
Please,
come back. Yeah.
please.
Roach Motel's on iTunes, you know. You can hear yourself talking in the background.
I would ignore the $9.99 for all the tracks, and I would buy the tracks separately for $1.19 each, because that.
Buy the track about my wife when you wouldn't shut up. Buy that one.
That's what I actually made a list of some of my favorite tracks, and that was one of them.
What do you
the
got?
The whole funeral procession. Do you really
Get
in the middle of a funeral procession?
That
to
was
be
a good one.
A couple of times.
Come on.
I think it's a Long Island thing.
No, it's
where-
not.
Oh, it
No?
happens all the time.
Well,
Well, with him.
No, I mean I've got during the day.
Yeah.
You can't go out without getting in a funeral
you
procession.
don't realize, and all of a sudden you're driving. You're like, wait, why are the hazards on in front of me? And you
Why
look,
everybody goes so
you're
slow?
looking in your rear view. Why are the hazards on the guy behind me? And then sometimes you'll see the sticker.
Why am I in a coffin?
Why is it-
Very nice, Richie. Richie Byrne just mastered the rule of 3 in comedy right there. That's Richie Byrne. Burned out.
His album sales are skyrocketing right now. Roach Motel.
And Steve Belanger does the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Richie Byrne.
You did yours at the Vault, right?
Yes, I did.
That's a good room.
Yes, it is.
And I thought about going outside of Long Island.
Am I in a coffin?
Yeah.
Long Island.
We lost Sally.
That was so funny.
By the way, can I have that?
No, please, I would be honored if you. Cause
Thank you.
everyone know. I mean, there's tens of people watching. They know now. But
You two guys.
You're very optimistic. Pens?
Did you really? You thought about doing it somewhere else other than
I
here?
thought about.
I was
'cause-
glad I did it somewhere else. To be honest.
Do you know why? Because
Yeah.
you know so many people here, and Long Island. If you talk to comedians outside the country, Long Island has a reputation
Yes, it does.
for the audience being very chatty.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Oh,
trying
is
to,
that right? But they're also very
but
good,
also
though, right?
Long Island has a reputation of producing good comedians, just like Boston. I heard Boston too. Like if you,
Because you got to fight through that.
I heard Boston like that. That's why there's so many strong comics out of Boston because you can't leave any like dead space,
Okay.
or else the audience will fill it.
That's where
Yeah.
Kevin Meaney came up with the "I don't care," because he was in Boston and they were killing him, and he just started singing "I don't care,"
Right.
and it just took off. Yeah, yeah.
These things happen on things happen on stage that you don't plan. Like I do this thing with the towel because I'm always sweating, and then I said I feel like a fat gospel singer. So now every time I go back to my towel, I'm like, and the audience laughs, and I'm like, all right. But yeah, some of these magic things happen on stage, like Kevin Meaney. Who else?
Wasn't Downey with SIP? Wasn't
Kevin
that
Downey was he was just
trying
like
to fill time.
fill time,
Yeah.
trying to fill time because he was a young comic.
I always said I'd rather be in a club in the city on like a Monday or Tuesday night where there's 3, 4, 5 people than on a Saturday night where it's packed, because on Saturday when it's packed, you're going to do your act.
Yeah,
You're going to do your act, and you're going to do it.
You got to do it.
But on a Monday night, you're going to screw around, you're going to have fun.
Yes.
And you're going to come up with so much more.
that's why.
And even if you don't, it doesn't matter. But
This
yeah.
is this Governor's Here is my favorite club. Second, I would say Comic Strip on a weekday, just
Yeah.
for that reason.
Yeah.
And then you go to another one of my favorite clubs is Comedy in Bristol, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Comedy
The
Works.
Comedy Works? God, I haven't been there forever.
It's just a blue collar crowd, and I thought
They're still there?
if I was going to record another album, I might think doing that room because it's just a blue collar crowd. And the guy goes up there. What's his name? Kaplan, Mike Kaplan.
Yeah.
I've never seen any club owner do this before. He yells at the audience
And they're
before the
Philly.
show.
No
They're,
kidding.
they're,
Like-
they're Philly
Or like,
people.
he like
Angrily?
nips it in the
You know how-
bud.
He goes like, he's like, and I know some of you ladies, you get a few cocktails, you don't shut your mouths. I'll throw your ass out of here. And I'm in the back like, oh my God.
What a warm up.
But you get up there.
You're like, I love you.
Yeah, but you get up there and the crowd, they come for the, and that's the job of an audience. Just come for the journey.
Right.
Just don't try to interject and
Yeah.
blah, blah. Come for the ride.
All right, so but recording it here, and I don't know, because of you're from here, did that help? You know, with the energy and get a lot of laughs. 'Cause
It did.
I mean,
It
you
was
can
a pretty
hear
hot crowd. It did.
Whoever produced it did a nice job because you can hear it. You almost felt like you were in the club because you could really hear
Yeah.
them
Mario
laughing.
produced it. Mario did the intro. He produced it. He recorded
did.
it all.
You know what stinks? Like, it's one thing if these women were like trying to be funny and I could like hammer them down, but the worst is when people, not just women, just people in general, talk, have a conversation, and you can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Say that, hey, where'd you learn how to whisper in a helicopter? Hey, baby, all right. You know? It's like all you can do is just talk louder than them, and
Yeah.
hopefully somebody shushes them. But a lot of times, alcohol involved, you shush somebody, and they get offended.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you like if you're gonna record? Do you tell the audience ahead of time that you're recording for an album?
That's
Does that
the
make
thing,
it worse?
Sally, is
But
that-
now
Because then they try
want,
to
they
get
want
on
their,
it.
their
They want to be on it.
Yeah.
They want their
That's
like
the
5
thing.
seconds
It
of
was
fame.
advertised months in advance on the website here at Governor's. People buying tickets, you have to go to the website, and you could see when you buy the tickets what the situation is. And I believe they had signs on the door, too, saying there's a live taping.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do tell. I thought maybe it would be like it would bite you in the butt by telling them because they scream out. or
It's like
something,
at golf.
or-
Now everybody's got to
Now-
yell, "Way to go!" when
This
everybody
happened to
hits
me.
the ball.
I kind of did like a beta of Roach Motel years ago. I tried recording something at McGuire's, and I'm telling you, this is 5 years earlier, maybe more. I'm at McGuire's.
act?
Yeah, well, pretty much, but a little slower. I'm at McGuire's. The crowd is hot. 15 minutes into it, maybe 10 minutes into it, the crowd is hot. All of a sudden, the audience is laughing, and all of a sudden, in the middle to the left side, I remember hearing, "Achimel, And I was like, "Oh, there goes my show." And long story short, a bachelorette party came, and the bachelorette was shit-faced. And I remember the members of the bachelorette party coming to me after the show. "We are so sorry. We didn't know there was a live taping, or else we would have went somewhere else." And to their defense, they
Right.
came in last minute.
Now-
They didn't know.
When I recorded my CD, it was on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh my God, what were you thinking?
That's guts, bro.
And fine?
They were great.
No
it was, it was in
way.
Connecticut.
Really?
Oh.
You know that theater
that
that-
Richie Byrne. He's
that
funny.
Riccadonna books?
Trip, trip.
Oh yeah.
You know that theater? What's the name? It's they do a lot of rock and roll there.
Yes.
but I can't think of the name of it, but it's a great place.
Yeah, I think of it.
And they did it,
Theater,
and these people were so psyched, and most of them had like hats on. And,
But it was a
and I'm like,
theater.
oh my God,
Right?
they're gonna lose it. Not really a theater, like a club. It's a club, like
Bridge,
a rock club.
Bridge Street.
Bridge Street.
Bridge Street.
Bridge Street. And it's a great place.
Good room, yeah.
But I thought, why are we doing this on St. Patrick's?
That's terrifying.
And turned out they were unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That was
So,
guts, man. That was
got
guts.
No
lucky.
kidding.
If you're recording, can you also like, since you're making an album, like if you start and you kind of mess up a little, can you start again, or do you just like whatever you're doing like you would normally on any stand-up night, that's it?
I guess you could. That tends to happen more with the videotapings, but
Yeah.
with the audio tape, I guess you could. But then again, the adrenaline, you always try to like stay calm. Like there are so many shows I've had where I'm like, oh, I wish I would have recorded that one.
But
Murphy's Law.
Carrie Karavis' special
Yeah.
2 months ago in Babylon at the Argyle Theater. She comes out, kill. Well, first
great
two acts
theater.
kill. Andre Kim,
Great theater.
Schenglinger.
Oh yeah, really good.
Yeah.
They kill. She comes out. She's killing for 9 minutes.
And what happens?
The fire alarms go off.
No. No.
Full theater. Shooting video, the whole thing.
What do you think she was thinking at that moment? Like she's been in the business so long. I'm like, can I get an effing break?
Yeah.
They
No,
cleared
can
the
I
theater. Everybody had to go out in the street.
Are you kidding me?
But
I would have left it in.
she was in the middle.
Did she save like 95% of it and just add on some other time, or?
No, it was 9 minutes in. So we all went out, and after 40 minutes or so, they let us back in. And the guy came up and said, "Look, we're going to start from the beginning."
Right.
And everybody was on the same page. Yeah. She came out, and it was her bit on Halloween, and she ad-libbed like 6 new things that were better than the first
yeah,
time.
she's-
Like
she's
totally,
like that.
she
Yeah.
totally crushed it.
Good for
That's
her.
a
That's
pro.
great.
That's
That's
a
a
pro.
pro.
Yep.
Not me. I would have went home.
Sweater went.
I would have went up and did the exact same thing,
would've went home.
verbatim. Verbatim.
Same movements and everything.
Same
right?
movements,
I'd been
absolutely.
like, there's a reason I'm not shooting it. There's a reason.
It's the worst feeling, especially if you're a comedian that does material and you're being recorded and you're in your set, you're doing good, you're starting to relax a little bit, and then somebody goes,
Throws you
you're
off
like,
altogether.
Oh, God.
That's the Bugs Bunny cartoon. Remember that where he's playing the classical piano and
No,
the
no,
guy
no,
kept
no,
coughing?
no, no,
So Bugs pulls out the gun and shoots him.
And that is the thing when you're recording or you're auditioning for a show or something, and
Yeah.
you're just like, please, all that's going through your head is your act, and please God, nobody say anything. Nobody say
please,
anything. Nobody
please
say
be quiet.
anything. Don't screw me up. Don't screw me up.
Well, Mick Thomas was at Caroline's. He's got a great joke where he's an American citizen now. He goes, he's with his thick Irish accent.
Yeah.
I'm an American citizen. They applaud. He goes, and I can say one thing now that I'm an American citizen. Let's get rid of these foreigners.
Yeah.
It's a great joke. He was at Caroline's with industry people coming to see him.
Oh, no.
And some guy thought I've got to say something about this. Some guy sitting up front, well, that's offensive. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Not realizing the guy's career, this is a moment in time where it can make or break this guy's career
now he's
because
gotta
there's
deal
industry
with
people in
this
the
putz.
audience from like CBS or something. Somebody was there, like people were there to see him. And there's one person you almost want to like find out who they are and just
Yeah.
like get them back somehow.
Right.
I've heard
Like
stories-
go to their job and
I've heard stories-
critique them and
Yes,
everything they
I've heard
do.
stories where a comedian actually did that. I mean, I know comedians joke about they joke
Doing,
about that.
yeah.
Like, how'd you like it if I came to your job and smacked a spatula out of your hand?
I thought
You know?
it was dick out of your mouth.
No, that's a variation.
That's the best. See?
That's like a stock heckler line, but
Broom out of your hand.
And the broom.
All right, so there were some comments where people were asking to hear some clips.
Ooh.
We're not really
From Richie Burns' new album?
Burned out.
burned out.
You
Available.
can't get it anywhere. It's in my house.
Everybody come on over.
Call me.
We're a little unsure about whether we can play the tracks or not. So this is what I did. I looked on YouTube. There's a clip of you performing one of the bits that's on the album.
This is
So I'm going to play that instead.
Okay.
And that'll keep us out of trouble.
And
Who
then
shot this?
we
You?
won't be
That'll
banned.
give us time to drink. I'm trying to think who shot this.
All right. So, and I think if I remember right,
I
I believe
shot
this
this.
is the juicy bit. I think, if I remember right. So here we go.
Juicing?
I think.
Wow, it's great to get out of the house, man. My wife's got me on a
this is
juicing
a,
diet.
I think this is a late night
Trying to
audition
help me
tape.
lose weight.
Oh.
And I've,
Is that right that we're
I'm
playing?
juicing.
Yeah.
I've been putting all these things in my
Notice the
body
stains
that
on my
never
shirt
been
like a
there
fat
before.
animal.
Chia seeds and kale. Did you ever have kale? It's disgusting. I think they should rename kale. Ugh. Kale, it tastes gross, but it's super rich in nutrient value. That's like dating an ugly person because they have money. So if you're eating kale, if you're eating kale, you know it tastes disgusting, but you're eating it just because it's rich in nutrients. You're a whore.
Burned out by Richie Brown.
I haven't killed it.
That's me with a very almost.
No, I really can't argue
Yeah.
with my wife. I had to do something.
Weird
Like
hair.
about a year ago, I was a lot heavier.
Did you have your big
And then
cap on
something
before
happened
you
that
went?
changed my
Yeah,
life.
I
I'll
took
never
my hair
forget
long
this
and I
day.
have hat
Driving
head.
in my
Is that what you
car,
were called, Meat Scar?
I hit a
And my
pothole
beard is
and my
colored, so I have a
boobs
lot of gray
bounced.
spots. Very, very light beard.
Oh, you guys have your headphones on so you can't hear it.
I never felt anything like that in my
I
life.
haven't memorized.
Well, you know how it is as a comedian. You do these bits like 10
I
years.
had to pull to the side of the road and collect myself.
Yeah, it is brutal.
You're a handsome
I always
man.
say that when I see you.
Oh, man. Just had a birthday.
It's on
Jess,
what?
and,
Who got up close and personal
my
with the
wife
camera?
gets me, thank you. You know what she gets me? Gift certificate to get a massage. What a nice gift, right? I can't think of a better way to say to somebody, hey, I love you.
Wards off evil.
Don't want to touch you.
How's that working out for you?
It wards off chatty people in the audience.
No. Here you go. Have them do it over there.
Can I get one?
I think
So
we
one day
submitted this
she
to.
drops me off at this spa.
Fallon?
I found out it was like
said,
all these different
exactly what we're
services that she got me. And she drops me
Was it the
off.
shirt, the stained shirt?
How much rejection, Richie, is there in stand-up comedy? There's so much.
Well, we could do hours on that.
Yes, we were talking about. Were you and I talking about this?
Probably in the car.
As a comedian,
Oh, yeah.
as a writer, as a
Actor.
the amount of rejection you get on a weekly basis is just. It's
I had a club owner, manager, say to me, "You're a white male comic talking about your family. I have enough of those."
Right.
And I go, "Who's talking about my family?" And he goes, "Oh, no, you don't understand." And it blew my mind that he didn't get the joke.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Right.
"You're in charge of funny, and you didn't get that I was just funny." Like that
right.
scared me.
Well, you have to point that out to people a lot, right?
It's not about
When
killing
you're making
anymore.
jokes.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yes.
It used to be they said
Go
that.
get me a sandwich. Shut up.
That's what they say now. It's not about killing anymore.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We keep saying we got to come up with different. It used to just be funny and things
It's
happen.
usually the people that never
I
kill.
kind of understand that though, because I've seen comics who kill,
Right.
and you're sitting there going, "Dude, really?"
It's like yeah, you're talking
But
about
that doesn't
airplane
mean-
food.
yeah, whatever. We know.
The audience don't know
Come
better.
on.
I got
you know, we
15
know.
minutes on airplane food.
But
no?
that doesn't mean that everybody that just because you killed
Yeah.
doesn't mean you're not doing original material that's really
Right.
funny.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, you just gotta try to just focus on your own self, and
You do.
because you could
Oh,
you
wait, I
could
wanna hear
easily look at what other people are doing and with what they have, and you're like, really? But you gotta just stay focused, wish them well, and stay positive, and find a drug.
Now on the screen right now is Ron Kokomo, which Mr. Darren Dillon
Please
keeps
put it up. I want to hear it. Really
busting
bad.
your chops.
You've never heard
I
this?
think
No.
this is a very good thing you did. This is before we became a thing. Yeah.
And you're standing right there.
You called me the
right
night
there.
before to come in and sing with you on this. Do you remember
Didn't I
that?
call you? Yeah.
July
You said no?
3rd, I think it was.
You missed out on this?
I was going to buy a car and I couldn't do it.
Recorded right here
I
in this
said-
room.
I said thank you
Right.
for giving me enough time to make this work.
How low on the list do you think you
6
were?
hours.
Hey, Richie, what are you doing in the next half hour?
Now, how'd you get the train?
You can see I'm sweating this. Like I always am. Oh, I asked. I think it was Rich Walker.
His wife?
Yeah, I wanted to know what train is the emptiest. Where can I record
Really?
something? Yeah, and it was like the 10 o'clock out of Ronkonkoma. So
You did no permits, right? You just went on.
Guerrilla style.
and we just did it. We did it between Ronkonkoma and Hicksville, and on the way back, we thought we were going to film more from Hicksville to Ronkonkoma, but there was too many people on the train on the way back.
Interesting.
But you got to figure that the conductor comes by, he sees 10:30 at night, he sees all these people dressed in Hawaiian.
You with your drinks.
He goes, "Where you guys coming from?" I said, "A luau." Now get up, walk into the next car so we can film.
Sign
it
his
has
waiver.
121,000 views.
Yeah.
No, way more than that.
Well, this one is probably 120. There's one guy from Long Island Laughs has 1.2 million so
Oh
far.
my god.
With that, it's over a 1.5, I think, total.
Does that mean he got paid
He's probably
How
got
many?
advertisers. He could be.
No.
on YouTube?
What do you see? How many we get paid for the tens of people that are watching, right, Richie?
What's
Might cover the sandwich.
what was the experience like making the album? Was there a lot of like crap or a lot of red tape involved with the what was it, 800-pound gorilla?
800 pound gorilla. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
We should have our headphones on, right? It looks silly if we don't. Sorry.
Too late.
I think you're gonna look.
What was the
silly
experience
anyway,
like?
but-
Yeah, I mean, was there a lot, of prep with that like afterwards editing or
Oh yeah, what was that process?
Well, what I did was right before, like maybe 2 months before, me and Carrie Carabas started working on the bits, just cleaning them up, adding tags. So I definitely put a lot of work in just getting ready for it. And I didn't just go up there and wing it. There was a set list, there was an order, there was a purpose to everything I was doing. Again, which is why when people don't shut the but no, it was. I just wish, you know what? Some nights in comedy, you say to yourself, or you say to the other comedians, "Oh, that was work." I love the nights where it's fun.
Yeah.
And that night, I was having kind of fun, although some moments I was getting a little annoyed. But for the most part, it was fun.
Well, we did a run through the night before in McGuire's,
My ears are sweating. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and
you don't
that
have
was
to do
and
that.
that was fun. The Friday night before, that was a good room.
Oh yeah, of course. The Friday night before, I'm like, well, I don't want to record this one.
We should have been here last
that
week.
was great.
Hey,
So he's the.
hey, the last
You
one.
walk into a club, there's 10 people. He should have been here last week.
Oh, you got that a lot. I feel like
You know what happened? There's a fair in town.
that's the worst when you go to a comedy club and like, whoa, we sold out last week. I'm like, I'm sorry.
There's always
Who was here? Oh, nobody big.
Nobody big. Some guy in a monkey.
I would go see that. What's squeaking over here?
I don't know.
Fancy headphones.
but like you said, but afterwards was it
the editing process was a pain in the ass.
The
right?
editing process, because you got to figure now, I got to listen to myself for hours because you're listening to it.
Oh, it's brutal.
You're listening
And
to
you get
it.
sick of your own voice.
You're editing it out, and you get taught. This is like material. I don't want to hear this material anymore. Like I can't wait to put this on a video, so I could just
Be done.
hopefully. I mean, I'm like any other comic. We love to have it on Netflix, but I was thinking about this on stage the other day. It's like when you put a material on video and it's out there on Netflix. Technically, you're not supposed to be doing the material anymore, right,
Yeah.
Rich? No,
Technically.
technically, but
Why?
it's a
Why would
scary,
that be?
wow.
because
Everybody's seen
people have seen it, or it used to be. I mean,
And if you do it on late night, it's done, right?
especially if you're a big name, if you're a well-known name and you put out an hour, you can't go around doing the
Right.
hour. People like I just
You're
saw
done.
this.
Don't some people they love a certain bit that
Yeah,
people do, and
that
then
does
they
happen.
want
It's
it,
like going to see greatest.
and they're like, "Oh my goodness,
like
they
Dice,
didn't do
yeah.
that
Bobby
one
Collins
thing."
is good with that.
Yeah,
We talked about that. And he said, no. He said, there are bits that I know they're there to see. And,
yeah.
And if I don't do them, they're going to be mad
Yeah.
after the show.
Right.
You know? And he said, it's my job to put new material in for me, but
Right.
to make sure that they get what they want. But if you just do all the old stuff, they'll be like, oh, gee. Like, I find
Yeah.
it funny when people come up to me and go, well, you really did a lot of the same stuff, huh? And then 6 months later, they come back and go, oh, you didn't do this. You didn't do that. The same person.
Yeah.
You
Ever
son of a bitch.
happy?
Yeah, it was, what was I going to say? Somebody that's happened to. Brain fart. But yeah, Bobby Collins always putting new stuff in. I think think it was Dom Irera was saying he had this bit about little what's that bit he's got? Little Tony or something like that, and he didn't do it one time, and the guy was like, I brought my cousin from out of state to come see that bit. You know, they wanted to see that bit.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Brian Regan, I saw him at Westbury, the Westbury Music Fair, and in between his bits, people were calling out, "You're the snow cone bit!"
Yeah.
And he goes, I'm very flattered that you guys all know that. He goes, I'm going to come back out at the end, like an encore, and take requests. And he came back out.
Are you serious? Wow.
He did his hour, and he came
That's
back out.
really
and he,
very nice.
He took requests. Like he goes, what do you want to hear, young man? And the kid's like, snow cone. And he did the whole snow cone, which again, you got to commit to that.
But like that's like Gaffigan will go out. Hot Pockets, do Hot Pockets. Like,
Yeah.
No, yeah. Hot Pockets, buy the album. Regan
Roach, do meat scarf.
Yeah, buy the album. No, I was at the Ronkonkoma, the Ronkonkoma Chamber of Commerce presented me with the key to Ronkonkoma last year. And they asked me to sing Ronkonkoma. And I said,
Acapella.
I said, that's why I made the video, so I'd never have to sing it again. And they started playing it, and I felt obligated, so I started singing a few bars. And they all started singing with me.
That is
Really?
awesome.
That's nice.
awesome.
Yeah, I guess. It's awesome. It was painful. For me, it was painful.
You did it at the senior center show we did too.
I did it.
That was a big crowd pleaser.
I love seniors, so, you know.
Oh,
But they probably started singing the original lyrics, right?
Yeah.
they started actually singing the lyrics of the Love Boat, so it got kind of
Who is this guy?
it got kind of weird.
Who is this
Does
guy?
he have my Jello?
Where's my pudding? Bob Hope never said fuck.
Morty, look at the size of this kid's head. Oh my God.
He must be sick. Well, and speaking of singing, you also have a band. I actually started the show off playing some.
you did? Rich Haven?
Rich Haven. What was it? My Stalk My Prey? Was that?
Stalk the prey.
That's how I opened the show, playing that tune.
Oh, thanks,
Wow.
pal. I
Wow.
normally, I just come up with the guitar stuff, but the guy that writes the lyrics, like if you read these lyrics, it's so dark and like heaven and hellish. And if you ever seen where this guy lives, he lives in like a white picket fence. You know, he's like a church fearing
American
guy and
Peanut butter and jelly for lunch.
quiet guy, wife and kid, works for like Verizon, and you look at these lyrics like, guy, are you a serial killer or
Well,
something?
The next Ted
it
Bundy.
didn't make sense until you said Verizon. Now it's all
Verizon,
starting to
yeah,
come
there you
together.
Certainly does. I'm retired from there myself.
Are you?
Yeah.
Explains a lot.
Do you? Yeah, you're not kidding. Do you find a lot of because there's a lot of comedians that are also musicians? Joe DeVito, Jackie the Joke Man.
Yeah.
Do you find a lot of that, or is it?
I don't know. You know what? I guess some people ask me, why don't you play your guitar? And I
You
always
gonna
want
be a guitar comic?
Nah, I want to keep the two separate. There are guys who are good at that, and that's just not my thing. I want to keep the music.
So you're in music. Are you running out of things to get rejected at?
Pretty much. But then again, I do like to sing. I don't know if it's something funny. You know what?
Now, when I don't mean to interrupt, but back in the '90s when I started,
Yeah.
I am a singer. I started as a singer, and I did imitations of different singers in my act, and a lot of comics were like, yeah, you can't, don't do that,
Why?
don't do that. They were like, it's kind of cheap, blah blah blah, da da da.
Loungy.
But I never used
bet it
music.
was
I just
funny,
did it
though.
a cappella,
Yeah.
and thought it was, and then I dropped it. And those same comics years later were going, how come you don't sing anymore? You should sing.
Right.
Like, Jesus, you got to, nobody.
But what's cheap about doing impressions?
I don't know. It's just looked down on.
Really?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, every time I saw Rich Voss, he would go, where's your guitar? And I'm like, I don't even play guitar. And I just had, some
Right.
5 minutes of singing.
Well, what
crap.
singers were you doing? If you're
Michael
doing like
Bolton,
Perry
like things
Como,
back then. Michael Bolton, Rick Astley, like funny.
Oh,
I'd make
that's funny.
jokes. I'm sorry,
No, it's
Bobby
okay.
Brown.
you're never gonna give me up.
Yeah.
Why do you feel the need to keep it separate? You just don't. You like the? Is it that's kind of cheesy, like a guitar comic? Is that cheesy?
I don't know.
No.
I just,
No,
I
there are
know
good
what he
ones
means,
out
though.
there.
Yeah,
but,
there are good ones.
Yeah.
but you got to commit to it. You got to be a guitar
Yeah.
comic.
I thought about it, but
All right.
First of all, I can't sing and play the guitar at the same time. That's probably a big reason why.
You don't take center stage, right? You're kind of in the shadows of Ridge Haven.
Yeah, I just sit on the side with my hat, my cranially endowed baseball hat, and over my eyes, and
It's like a running theme here.
yeah.
How did you two get together with the podcast?
We
Park
went
and ride.
We went to the prom.
Oh.
What'd you say, park
Park and
ride?
ride. He flashed his lights twice, and I drove over.
I opened the door. I tapped my foot twice.
And I
It's
said,
been magic ever since.
I said, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "I'm waiting for coworkers." I'm like, "Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too."
Next thing you know, old Judd's a millionaire.
Craigslist M for M. Yep.
Too. We got introduced through a
Kettle of fish.
a casting director, a friend of ours.
Yes. Ross Meyerson hooked us up. He was the CD on Kevin Can Wait.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I was doing stuff for him. I was working development with him, and I had been rejected by the writer's room of Kevin Can Wait because I was a fat white guy from Massapequa hoping to write for a show about a fat white guy from Massapequa.
No bitterness. No bitterness.
You're not quite right. That's my life.
You're not quite white. Right. Right. Right.
Oh, I was quite right. And yeah, they said you guys should do something together. And we met over pancakes, and it's been love ever since.
Yeah. And we do the podcast. And
Yeah. Long Island Explained. At
I
longislandexplained.com.
for me, I needed somebody because my attention span's so short. So he'll research topics, and he'll come up with. I'll go to his house. He's got pages of material, and I'll text him that morning. What are we talking about today? Oh, and I'll Google it on the way over. And
As you're driving.
on a 25-minute ride, if there's a
At the
YouTube video on the topic, I'll watch it.
And my favorite part is I'll do like 25 minutes on the Culper spy ring from the Revolutionary War.
Yep.
And when we get to the part that he read at the stoplight, he goes,
I get-
"Oh, weren't there whaleboats that they used to cross the
Yes,
Long Island Sound?"
Yes, I know something about something.
Then he starts pointing to the camera for the audio podcast.
Yes. I know a thing or two about a thing or two.
Break the
He actually took the reins of the podcast for this week's episode.
Yeah.
He drove the bus.
Oh,
Nice.
hashtag Adderall. Well, yeah.
His forehead was starting to pulsate like the Star Trek villain. You could see him starting to-
My attention span, like I've did Kumia a few times, which is what, 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
The second hour, I'm just like, I'm gone.
2 hours is a long. You guys do a 2-hour show in the
Every
afternoon. That's a
stinking
long
day.
show.
I got to
That's
be
hard.
medicated for the second hour. I have to have amphetamines flowing through my vein for the second
You
hour.
should be on like a drip. That should be sitting behind you.
Oh.
It's
Well, you've
been
done plays, don't? They're 2 hours.
Yeah, but with a play, you get to walk. I'm like, all right, this is where I get to stare at the wall for a half hour and do nothing.
Yeah, you're not always.
And you get to walk off stage.
Yeah.
And then the actors come
Snort
over and go,
cocaine.
"You know you have lines here, right?"
You're supposed to be out on stage right now.
I thought it was staring at the wall.
You're supposed to be smothering McMurphy right now. Where are you?
Yeah, you played Chief in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, right?
Off Broadway, Smithtown, off Broadway.
Well, yeah, it's off Broadway. The
I
theater's right on
loved.
Just keep driving.
I loved theater. I loved it. It was my only taste of theater, real taste, and it ran Thursday through Sunday for like a month and a half, and I loved it. I remember I walked in there, and the guy Ken Washington, who owns the theater, he goes, "Well, as long as he goes, as long as a 6'6" Native American doesn't come walking through the door, you got the part." So, and I
You fit the shoes. You're like Johnny. What's it? Johnny Bravo, right?
We found a wig. Yeah, we found a wig, and my wife tied it into like a
so you actually played it as an
Braid
Indian
or
chief,
something?
like
yeah.
him.
I went and got Native American makeup. I had a headband. It looked so like people were saying, "You really look like you're Native American," and I had this Native American makeup. And every time I put it on, I'm like, I don't think it's dark enough. And then one time, this one of the guys was playing one of the mental patients. He said, "My girlfriend's been to every show this week. She says you keep getting darker every show." She said last night you were neon.
Spending a lot of time out in the yard.
What tribe are you with, son?
Because I used to have to do my hands, my arms, my face, my neck, basically everything you could see. And then you put the makeup on, and there's like setting powder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sweating and like
It's dripping.
I'm leaning on the wall. One scene, I get up the walls like orange all over the wall. The chief is melting.
That's his name. Chief Melting Man.
Chief melting.
There's very little lines, right?
Yeah, very few. Yeah, the most lines I had were there were 2 monologues, but they were piped. They were pre-recorded. They were pre-recorded.
Acting.
The audience is far enough away.
And I just went up front until they had the light on me, and I'm just going like this.
And you notice somebody in the back going, "Geez, can this big Mama Lou not really talk?"
Wait, there was one scene. I always knew when I had a friend in the audience. There was one scene where I'm the only one on stage. I have to walk stage left to stage right, and during that walk, it was so quiet, and all of a sudden you would hear. I'm like, one of my freaking friends is in the audience right now.
You don't know which one.
Because I told all my friends and family, I don't want to know when you're coming to a show. Text me. I would look at my phone all day. I said, text me if you come into the show an hour before the show, and then when I get to the dressing room, when I'm done, I'll look at, oh, you were here tonight, and then I'll go and say hello. Right. I don't want to know my dad's in the audience. Or
I did a play a couple of years ago called that Vinny Naughtiello wrote. Do you guys know Vinny?
Yeah, good guy.
The Boom, and it was about comics. Three comics in a condo, and it took place in a condo.
Okay.
And the theater it was in New York City. It was a small theater, so. Do you guys know Darcy Novick?
Yeah.
It
Yeah, I know
opens
Darcy.
with me on stage. So, like, when the audience walks in, I'm already on stage. It's supposed to be I'm in my condo.
So you're just
And
hanging
I'm
out.
I'm doing, like, exercises, drinking a beer. And every night, but Darcy Novick comes up on the stage and goes, "Hey, how are
We came to
and-
your show."
And I'm completely ignoring it. She's going, "Hello, hello."
She actually ran onto the
Yeah,
stage.
because she didn't, and it was the funny thing, she was with
Like she didn't know you were.
No, and I'm like trying to ignore it. She goes, "Hello."
I just laugh.
And she was with Keegan
Oh.
and John Consoli. And I look, and they're in the back of the house, and they are laughing. They're not helping her. They're just crying, laughing. Like they kind of figured it out, you know. Finally, I look up and go, "Darcy, this is part of the show." She goes, "Oh, shit." She goes,
You're like, I'm working here.
That is great.
But again, sometimes friends don't realize, like, as comedians, they don't realize that before shows, sometimes we're mentally preparing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I headlined at McGuire's. First time I was nervous. I'm going over my notes, and friends would text me, "Dude, what's good to eat here?" I'm like, "Are you effing kidding me right now? Are you kidding me?" And then I had a friend sitting up front, a girlfriend of mine from back in the day. She was sitting up front, and she was doing that. She was like, "Hey, hey, hey!" And meanwhile, I'm so nervous. I'm just plowing. I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! Shut up!" People don't get it.
I had
Go ahead.
when I did my award-winning one-man show that we discussed before.
Yes, award winning.
There was one night where everybody was chatty, and I think I might have encouraged. I acted a little bit with them, and then people got extra chatty, and I said something, and somebody in the group said, "Yeah, yeah, that was great. I remember that."
Oh,
And I was like, "Okay," because I was talking about my college years,
I've
and
seen
then
that. I've
she
seen
go-
that.
after the laugh, "Steve, it's me, Karen, from college." I'm like,
God
"Okay,
Almighty.
it's not how this works."
Right. That happened to me
It's
here.
me,
Yeah.
right? And you probably get that.
No, somebody one time yelled out, I'm your father's cousin. I'm like,
I
yeah.
don't think that is funny. Like I would think that would be like, I don't know. I
Not,
like,
not when you're on stage.
I like stuff like that. Like as a
We do the
audience
dinner
member.
theater stuff with a lot of audience interaction type stuff.
Yeah,
so we
you do
walk
the
around.
murder mysteries.
Right. My own mother, in the middle of a show, I swear to God, she goes,
This
"Can you
totally
get me another
happened."
soda?" She actually held it up and said,
She goes, "Okay,
"My
get
own
me."
mother." And I looked around. I just gave her one of these.
There are like 6
And I just kept
people that
walking.
have lines, and he's one of them. And she's like, "Can I have a Diet Coke?"
Yeah, it was crazy.
I wanted to say that whore, but I pulled it back. Because,
Oh, you know her.
oh, so well. Actually, MJ, you know her too, right? I got to, oh yeah. All right, never mind.
I know 2 comedians they're from Long Island, good comedians that don't like coming out here because the family comes out.
Oh.
One guy comes out, he says he has an aunt that heckles him.
In a
Can you
good-natured way,
imagine?
or
And
like
he goes, she
meanly?
always gets thrown out. She comes down just to heckle him.
That's awful.
Pete Corelli.
All right.
I was gonna say I figured it was him.
See, the string doesn't go anywhere. It's not going to
Yeah.
the... You're saying this string controls the outdoor light?
No, the light right there. See,
The light next to his
what,
head.
what you don't see is up behind me. There's like a pulley, and it goes over to the right and back down to
Yeah.
the
The pulley's
Yeah.
implied, I guess.
Yes.
I'm not.
Wait, is that the outside of the motel or those shades? thought
See,
they
I don't
were
know that
shades.
either.
You know, it's,
I thought you were pulling the shades.
You know, you
not
see-
the
right,
light.
Did you really have something in your hand, or was that
No,
Photoshop?
it's Photoshop.
I'm going to Photoshop a dick in there.
Oh, you know what? I know somebody's gonna do it now. I know somebody. One of you guys are gonna do it. I know.
It's going to be
Was your
raining
hand
dicks on that
actually
cover.
there? It looks like your hand wasn't there either.
it does look.
That's not my hand.
It looks like you're jerking off.
It doesn't look
does.
like your... Is it?
The color
Now that I'm
is
thinking
different
about
than
it.
Your
the
hand's
rest.
hairier.
He's like, "Why am I here?"
That is my hand, but I asked him. I said, "Do me a favor. I have a lot of imperfections, like blemishes." I'm like,
This looks totally Photoshopped right here.
Yeah.
totally wind it out.
But at least we know this is your... Because you matched
But you know
the...
what's cool? Like the guy that took this picture, that was the way the picture came out. It was like too bright on one side, and it actually works good with the Roach Motel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
But I wasn't sure either. I'm like, are those blinds inside, or am I staying on the
And
side?
that
It looks like it could be siding.
Got to be honest. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks like blinds, and I think that's controls the blinds.
I
not the
thought
light.
that's what I thought.
So I don't even think you know what you're talking about, Chris.
You know what's great is when
you're
you
right.
have to dissect the picture on the cover.
right.
I think that's for the blinds, not the light.
The artist at 800-pound Gorilla made it, and I think they did a fine
Is this
job.
symbolic that this is
job.
the blind leading the blinds? Or
Wow.
thank you. I'll be here all week, folks. Be at the brokerage on Sunday.
There's a great bit on the album called Coaching.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bring it
yes.
right back.
Yes.
I think that's my favorite on the whole album.
Coaching?
Yeah. Again, without unfortunately not playing tracks. But
Do it live.
It's yeah, I don't know if I can find it live, but
Oh,
basically.
I meant Chris, but
Oh, well, basically, were you talking about?
Yeah,
I mean,
when
we don't have to give much away, but
No, when I used to coach. And, man, that is a hard job to coach kids sports, especially when you have relatives on the team. Like, okay, my nieces and nephews were on the team. And I'm trying to teach these kids how to play hockey, which is something I actually know how to do. And I can't get my own niece and nephew to cooperate. Like all the kids are listening, and my niece is making faces at me. And I'm like, I'm trying to teach these kids how to back check.
Is it the only time they've seen you be like
Serious.
responsible? Yeah.
Because I was always, I'm the silly uncle, the jerk. They like me like
I
that.
don't see
And
that.
all of a sudden they seen like serious Uncle Chris, and it was probably hard for them.
Sounds,
I'm trying to get everybody to do drills, like certain drills, like run to this cone, go around, pass, do that. And there's my niece and nephews like, ooh, like not even And I would get upset. I would tell my brother like, your son is, he's not being attentive, and it was sort of like family crap.
How'd that go over? Because we parents, we love to hear bad stuff about
But
our
the
own
reason
kids.
I swear to God, the reason I stopped coaching, I'll never forget. I was on Kevin Kuwait on CBS. And I swear, we just filmed the pilot. It was probably like July. You filmed the pilot in March. Then you wait to see if it's going to get picked up. It was probably around like July. The parents were one of the parents were making fun of a heavyset kid on my team. So my sister goes over, and tells the guy, it's the kids are trying to have fun and you're ruining it. Why don't you, they were kind of like being really rowdy. And the guy says to my sister, "Why don't you shut the F up?" And all of a sudden I went, cuckoo. Anybody have siblings? When somebody messes with your sibling? Cuckoo. And I said to the kid, I said to the guy, I said, "I will effing beat you with your kid." I'm up on the bench. My brother, who's always the craziest one, my oldest brother, pulls me down. He goes, "Dude, what the hell's the matter with you? You can't do stuff like this anymore. You can't." I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to retire.
Can we cut to 3 months later when the hit new show on CBS premieres and this guy's sitting in his living room?
Hey, that's the guy who said he was going to beat me with you. There he is. Hey, honey, come in here. That's him. He said he was going to beat me with Steven.
But before we wrap, I did want to hear, is it true that you were once on a CBS sitcom?
Yes, it was called Kevin Kuwait. It was on CBS.
one of my closest friends, one of his kids was one of your kids on Kevin Kuwait.
Oh, not
The
my
girl?
hockey team?
No, not the hockey team. Kevin Kuwait, because you had what, like 18 kids?
Yeah, which
No?
kid?
Oh, one of those.
His name in real life is Ryan.
Ryan,
He was a bigger guy. I don't know. Murphy.
Oh, he was
I
the
don't
oldest
care.
kid. Yeah, I know
Murphy.
what you're talking about. Yeah, good
Yeah.
kid. Well, they were all good kids.
That's right. You had a lot of kids on
Ryan
the show.
Murphy?
The one kid that played the one girl played my youngest daughter. She's killing it out there. Booking stuff left and right. I'm like, hey, congratulations.
And the woman who
that's how I was when you got Kevin Can Wait.
Right? I know. It's like,
good for you, Chris. Good for you.
I was in Frank's Steakhouse. We were doing a show, and it came out that you got it, and we're all we're all eating it, and Eric Half goes, "Good for him, good for him." He works hard, and I go, "Fuck him."
you told me this.
We
Yeah.
all work hard. Fuck Chris
know.
Roach.
Wow.
And you sat there
And I
saying,
go, and you think it too, Halfty.
We all do. We're all, but
I was sitting there going, one day I'm going to be at that guy's album release party on Gulf's Comedy Club Radio.
I would have been the same way because we all work hard.
But I was
Yeah.
joking.
I know, but
Deep down,
one comedian
truth.
did come up to me and he apologized to me out of the blue. I'm like, what? He goes, "Do you want to say I'm sorry?" when you got the show, it's like, why not me? And I was very angry and bitter. I'm like, all right, I didn't have to know
Really?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he say bad things about you that might have got around?
No, but he came and apologized. I'm like, you didn't have to apologize. It's all right. I get it.
Whenever a young comic asks me advice, that's right. I tell him, don't compare yourself to what anybody else is doing.
No.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Because there's no rhyme or reason for the journey.
That's right.
Just enjoy your own journey.
Sure.
You can't dictate what other people are doing. Be happy for them and do your own thing.
Especially now, you see these YouTubers come out.
Yes.
Like you never heard of them. Who are they? Oh, they have
Yeah.
7 million viewers.
And they have 10 minutes of material.
Yeah. How are they getting? We've hit a sore spot. We've
And they're
hit
selling
a
out
sore
comedy
spot.
clubs.
Well, but we have to. We talk about it a lot on our show. At least here, everybody's so supportive of each other here. Really,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but
To our faces.
well,
Oh, yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. We're here every freaking day, and we don't hear that. Fuck Roach. We don't hear that stuff.
Yeah, but
everybody's
you know-
saying
but
nothing
you know
but
why?
positive
Because
stuff about each other.
I
You're
heard it in my
meeting
house.
guys who have been around and are established
Yes.
Get it.
and have been through all that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you're
my
right.
point. When you're
Yeah,
younger, you think that there's some sort of pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And when you realize there isn't,
Yeah.
No.
for everybody, you just got to figure that out and go, well,
and that moment is now for me, apparently.
Carrie
Now I
Carabas
know.
called me when she first found out, and she left a message on my machine. She goes, right now, every comedian on Long Island is going, him?
Yeah.
That's funny though.
It is funny.
really
And true, but
and their wives.
a little bit.
All
Oh.
right. Yeah.
So how'd that go over at home, Richie?
I actually was the backup warm-up guy for Kevin Can Wait.
That's right.
Oh, right.
Did you ever warm up?
No.
No.
You were the on-call guy?
If Kohler wasn't going to be there,
Oh, he shows up. Kohler shows up.
I actually did Murphy Brown for him last year.
Really?
A ball. I was really nervous about it
Okay.
because I'd never done a sitcom. And
Oh,
had
right.
Just such a great time. It was
Well,
great.
yeah, Oz is much quicker. Sitcoms longer. Right?
Oz is long for a talk show.
Really?
though. Yeah, it takes
Okay.
us about 2 hours to shoot, which is a long
Oh,
time.
but
Wow.
sitcoms can
Yeah.
go 5-6 hours.
Sitcoms can, yeah. Murphy Brown only went about a little over 3, so it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
But I have a DJ that you play off of and all that, so it's a little different, you know.
Yeah, we were there for when Kevin Gawait got picked up. The first episode you guys did, we were there, and it went. I think it went till like 1 a.m.
It was
So
really- it
Kevin
was
came out and
very
signed
long.
autographs for everybody as a way to
Were
say
you there,
thank
were you
you.
there for the pilot or for the first episode?
The
after?
No,
first
after it got
episode.
picked up, the first
Yeah.
episode.
It was really long.
Because the
yeah.
pilot was like, even the pilot we went to, like 2 a.m, and
Jeez.
they got after a while they got a rhythm going. But
Right,
yeah,
right.
Well, that's you're
And-
taking baby steps. You're trying to figure things out.
yeah. And Joey Cola, I had
Amazing.
that's what I was just blown away how this guy has that energy for 7 hours, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Right.
To
Right.
keep those people in their seats.
And you don't know how hard he works unless you know what it's you understand what
Right.
it is because
Yeah.
like when we first went there we watched him do his thing and Tony said he goes you know who's working the hardest out here, that guy
Oh,
right
without
there.
a doubt.
And I was like
Without a doubt.
and he makes it's so effortless
And you
that
don't get a break because you never
forget
know when you got to pop back
how
out.
I
great
said
he
to him, I
is
said,
at
how
it.
do you have that energy for so long? And he said, chocolate.
Well, he was handing out chocolate throughout the
yeah, he was
audience.
throwing
right?
he was throwing
Yeah.
chocolate at us.
But you know what? It was just an incredible experience. For all those comedians who said, him, I'm still living at my dad's house, so take it easy, all right?
Hey, come down.
Hey, work it out, all right, baby?
Well, not for long because this album's
That's right.
taking
Ah.
off.
That was
That's
a
right.
great segue. That was awesome.
He's
Well,
good
not
that
for
way.
long. This album. Once they hear Mario's on it, it's gonna blow up.
You know what? I just saw it on Variety. Mario got a sitcom deal from that.
Well,
Okay.
there you go. I think we're.
That was fun.
That was fun. I had a great time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
I
you.
learned
Thank you
so
for
much
having
about
me.
Richie
you,
Burns'
thank you,
album.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next
Thank
week,
you.
the Richie Byrne release party.
Can I be on that show?
Oh, you know what? We're
I need
short
to
of
plug
room.
my album.
The album is called Roach Motel by the lovely Christopher Roach. There it is. He's pulling a string connected to anal beads or something. I'm not sure what the hell it
It
is.
could be like a trapdoor. Candy's gonna fall down. You don't know.
The whole album cover is like a Russian egg. You make of it what you will.
Yes.
I'll be in Southampton on Thursday night, the Beacon Theater in Newburgh on.
I'll be right over at the brokerage here on Sunday. Oh,
Are you making a CD? Because you got to give them out. You got to do the merch thing.
I don't
now.
know. Do you make? Does anybody buy physical hard copies anymore?
The
people
800-pound guy
Some
said you
people
can
do.
give out cards with downloads.
Oh, there you go. Download card.
Scratch off download. Drop cloths?
Is that a drop card? What's that called?
Yeah, the
MJ?
What are you asking?
Yeah. Come on, you're
what was
the,
your name again? Married.
What did you
Johnson.
ask?
She seems to be hip to these things.
What do they
A
call
card.
it? A
download
card with the download
with
card.
the code on it.
It's
right?
probably like scratch off.
She's looking at me like I'm
What are you talking about?
and instead of giving out a CD for merchandise, you would give out a card and it has a code on it, so you can go on iTunes and redeem
Isn't that called a
the
drop
code,
card?
and you can download the album.
I've never heard of this.
This is
thought-
what your
What
life
the
here is
hell?
going to be like. Everything that didn't happen before.
What is this?
Since
what is
1990
this
on, they're
Twitter
going to
thing
ask
people
you.
keep talking about.
Really, everybody looked at the
Who's
youngest
Mario?
person here
That's
and
my
went,
biggest
"Why don't you know
question.
this?"
What's the grandma instant thing? Oh, Instagram. Sorry. I don't know.
What is it?
Instant grandma? What do you pour water and it? Grandma. By the way, Tony's mom still a whore. Tony, can you get a refill?
Her website is InstaWhore.
All right, where can we find this, Roach? Any streaming service, right? Are you on all of them?
I think so.
If you have Apple connected to your Echo, as I
iTunes,
noticed, you can just say,
Stitcher.
Alexa, play Chris
Spotify.
Roach's Roach Motel, and you will hear the dulcet tones of Christopher Roach right after the dulcet tones of
What does dulcet
Mario.
mean?
Big
calming,
words.
soothing.
Spotify, my very bassy, sexy voice.
Yes.
Hey, do
Keep
you
it.
like almond milk? I hate almond milk.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for Meat Scarf here. Check out the album. Check out Ridgehaven. Go see Chris Roach at any of our wonderful clubs here on Long Island and throughout the Northeast.
Oh, I'm headlining here February 14th and 15th.
That's Governor's right here in Levittown.
We just went radio dead for like 3 minutes. Everybody's just staring at each other.
Tony was like,
Him? He's headlining? He's got a funny 10 minutes.
Oh, Rich, just got the word. Our sitcom got picked up.
Oh, good.
You guys!
Oh, Sally and Tony just got a series.
Them?
It's about
MJ has a new talk show.
MJ! We don't even know her name. We don't even know her name. She doesn't have a last name.
You make